now. My three concerns that I mentioned: surge, strength, and stall. Water from two storms. I think that can increase our surge. The strength, the Gulf is 86 to 90. I think we could have an even stronger storm than a Category 1. The stall, light steering current. So let's explain all of those. First of all, 35-mile-an-hour winds on both of these systems. This one's clipping along at 22 miles an hour, so basically catches up to the Gulf about the same time this one gets in, lags just a little bit. So imagine wherever this is, all of this water being pushed toward Houston and Galveston area. Normally with a Cat 1, you'd have about a 4 to 6 foot surge, and if you had just this one way out here, we would still have coastal flood advisories for maybe a foot or two above normal. So you start adding that up, and you get to maybe 6 to 8 foot surge because of the two storms. Variable, but it could happen. And then the strength. We've got to get at a 1, 75-mile-an-hour storm, and that continues. But this is very warm water, and you'll remember Hannah went to a 75, ended up being a 90-mile-an-hour storm. Isaias, which was over the Gulf Stream that went into North Carolina, ended up being a much stronger storm than anticipated. So I wouldn't let my guard down on the strength of this. In fact, intensity forecasts are tough. Track forecasts are pretty good generally, and that's why I'm concerned about this. But intensity is tough. 88 to 90 degrees is the Gulf water right now, and that continues over the Caribbean, where this system is going to be pushing across as well. So plenty of fuel for this storm. Now, a stall. Let's look at what's steering this. First of all, it's being tugged north by this weakness here. This low is what's giving us beautiful weather. Unfortunately, it's also weakened between these two high, the air pockets. So consequently, this system is going to follow the path of least resistance, and right now that is it. This one will go around the periphery of the Bermuda High, so that's why that goes into the Gulf. This one that we're looking at just starts to wander to the north because of that path of least resistance. Now, when it gets here, does it face this north flow from this system, which is going to be a hurricane, and that's trying to keep it from moving much, and this high pressure trying to move it much. So a stall, if this all plays out this way, is not out of the question, and we know what stalling storms can do. Now, if you look at the American again, and that brings the system pretty right into the Houston area, and this right into the Florida area, and then compare it to the European, again, the European's even more aggressive. I think the National Hurricane Center is really paying attention to the European into Houston and this one into Florida. Looking at them both, and just follow the red dots here, these are both pretty much in sync. And when you have the European and the American pretty much in sync this far out, you have to pay attention to those possibilities. So the track into our area is concerning. 4 to 8 foot storm surge, I'm suggesting, because of that double fetch of water. 8 to 12 inch rainfall, 10-mile-an-hour movement on the storm. If it's moving at 10 miles an hour, 10 into 100 is 10 inches of rain. So 8 to 12 is not out of the question. The winds would come with it, water spouts, and for inland areas, certainly tornadoes would be a problem, power outages and down tree limbs. So this is very preliminary. We may wake up tomorrow and it's all changed. But